Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Wow. So, Fred, barbershop conversation. You idiot. Yes, sir. Another episode, another segment. This is the You Idiot series. And also ride along today. So our special guest on today's episode of You Idiot is none other than Fred Barbershop Conversations. Now, Fred, I believe that you could be on this You Idiot episode potentially every day for a month straight, because I've heard you say so many idiotic things. So this is your first time on this You Idiot segment, but I'm pretty sure it won't be your last. See, the thing with guys like Fred Barbershop Conversations is, first and foremost, he's highly contradictory of himself. He race baits and push false narratives. And to be perfectly honest, he's just not a trustworthy guy. What's amazing to me is how many people he has listening to his foolery. But you know, when guys start their video off traditionally with, why is it the black man and the white man, and when they start that off with, they start videos off like this, there lies an issue in that in itself. And anybody who doesn't get that issue, you're part of the problem. You're part of the worldwide division of racism, detention. You're all a part of that problem. But Fred Barbershop feeds and drives on that problem. His narratives, when he talks about boxing, it feeds and thrives on that type of foolishness. Well, Fred Barbershop says that Gary Russell and Jermall Charlo has become high risk, low reward. Wow. You idiot. First, I'm going to start off with Gary Russell Jr. Because Gary Russell Jr. out of the two guys has actually done more. Gary Russell Jr. out of the two guys, I actually have respect for. But Gary Russell Jr. of the two guys has not done enough. I don't care about brittle hands. Floyd Mayweather had brittle hands, but he still found a way to get it done. I don't want to hear anything about guys not wanting to fight you, because you've not asked all the names. I mean, you clout chase Terrence Crawford, Gary Russell. You basically clout chase Devin Haney because you're not taking the fight, Gary Russell. But you skip right on around 130, say a Miguel Burchell. You skip right around that, but then claim nobody wants to fight you. Then you got these idiots like Fred Barbershop Conversations that will further push this narrative that nobody wants to fight you. You're so great because they know you're great, but everybody's ducking you. But that still makes you great. Okay, well, no, it doesn't, because you have to fight to be great. You have to accomplish to be great, and you have to prove yourself to be great. And in the past 6 years, Gary Russell Jr., the only great fighter that you shared the ring with, you lost to, which was Vasil Lomachenko. Next to Vasil Lomachenko, the best fighter that you shared the ring with is a Jojo Diaz. Now, I don't know how you or these idiots, such as Fred Barbershop Conversations, could actually assume or think that you're a reward of any sort. To think that, you know, you fit the category of low risk, high reward. I really don't understand where anybody could get those thoughts from. Because you've not done a damn thing. You've not done a damn thing. You fought Vasil Lomachenko, You've clout chased for 6 years, and the best you could find was JoJo Diaz. I don't want to hear nobody wanted to fight you, Gary Russell. You just weren't knocking on the right doors. You just weren't asking the right people. You spent enough time chasing Leo Santa Cruz around, which he didn't want to fight you. But again, you talk about something stupid and ridiculous is going up to 147 and getting punished by Terrence Crawford. You clout chase Devin Haney when you know you didn't want anything from that young kid. But you skipped right on around 130 and we didn't hear anything about Miguel Burchell, Gary Russell. So, no, you've not become high risk, low reward. You've been low reward. You've been low reward because you're not doing anything. Now let's move to the other idiot in this scenario. And the main idiot is you, Fred Barbershop Conversation, because he says also Jermall Charlo has become high risk, low reward. Well, I say Jermall Charlo for last. I say Jermall Charlo for last because, like I said, unlike Gary Russell actually gets some respect from me. At this very point in time, Jermall, come the fuck on. This point in time, Jermall Charlo gets no respect from me. None at all. Not even a little bit. Because this whole idea that Fred Barbershop Conversation trying to push Fred Barbershop, you idiot. Jermall Charlo has done way less than Gary Russell. This idiot is just taking his most valid fight in Sergey Derevyanchenko. Jermall Charlo won a belt, or pardon me, had a belt handed to him at 160 and has not yet defended well at all. Jermall Charlo had the ultimate title defense in a Demetrius Andre. Not only would have been a title defense, but a fucking unification match. And Jermall Charlo decided to turn down that $7 to $10 million worth. No unification. And Fred Barbershop Conversations, you idiot, you're going to tell us he's become high risk, low reward? No, this dude's been low reward. He's been low reward his whole fucking career because he's not doing a damn thing. And, you know, to take this a little further, where the hell do you come up with the high risk? That's what I'm interested in. Where is the high risk? What, the high risk is that he has a knockout punch? This high risk with this knockout punch couldn't put away a 154 Brandon Adams that came off of a reality show, The Contender. He couldn't put away a Matt Korobov. I mean, where is this high risk? High risk to who? Because you idiots believe he's a high risk to Canelo. So he's become high risk, low reward. He's not a high risk to Canelo. He's not any risk to Canelo. And he's not any reward to Canelo because he's had a worthless career. So where is he's become high risk, low reward? You idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. You know, for all of you boxing fans out there, for all of you guys coming to the sport of boxing, stay away from guys like Barbershop, Fred Barbershop Conversation, because he's only going to give you race-baiting narratives that don't amount to anything. Here's the facts about Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo has not accomplished much. Jermall Charlo is a disappointment to the sport of boxing because he's, you know, in his 30s right now. He's been a champion for quite a while. He has not unified. He's not attempted to unify. He was offered a unification, turned it down for multiple millions of dollars. And now at the age of 30, this 160-pound champion, at the age of 30, is just fighting his first valid fight at 160 as a champion. He's just doing that. The best he has on his record is Julian J. Rock Williams, who was just knocked out by a B-level fighter by the name of Jason Rosario. That is the best that this Jermall Charlo, whom this idiot claims, now, for a barbershop conversation, this idiot, who this idiot claims has become high risk, low reward. So for all of you good people that want to really know about boxing, just stay away from idiots like Fred Barbershop Conversation. And understand that Gary Russell Jr. nor Jermall Charlo has become anything. Both of them have been low reward. Both of them been low reward. Secondly, Jermall Charlo is neither high risk nor low reward. Okay? He's not become anything because he's not a high risk and he's been a low reward. Let me rephrase that. I said neither high risk. No, he's not a high risk and he's been a low reward. He's not a high risk to anyone. It's a good chance the Reverend Chinko could beat Jermall Charlo when they get into a fight. So, Fred Barbershop Conversations, like I said earlier, this is not the first segment of You Idiot or the last. You idiot. But Jermall Charlo and Gary Russell Jr., they've not become high risk, low reward. Because to become anything else but a low reward, you have to accomplish something. And looking at both of these idiots in the past 6 years, they've not accomplished a damn thing. The only thing that Gary Russell and Jermall Charlo has become, Fred Barbershop Conversations, you idiot, is a liability to the sport of boxing. And that's a fact. So y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.